Hi, I'm going to show you today how to help with sciatica pain. And sciatica pain is a problem that you have usually in your hips. It can be pain down the legs also, and it can cause leg cramps. And so if you have a pain in your hip and you don't know, it's not the joint, then it's usually the piriformis muscle has been built up with lactic acid, and that needs to be released. And to release it, you want to press on the muscle that's lying over the sciatica nerve until you feel like it has released. And the person can help you by telling you how much pain they have, how much pain it is caused by when you push on it. And if the pain is lessened, then you know it has released. And of course, the reason why we get built up with lactic acid is because we're not drinking enough water, and that flushes out the acids out of our system. And if our system is too acidic by not drinking enough water, then our muscles don't release their toxins. So the other things that can cause buildup of acid is, of course, too much exercise, overexertion of a muscle, and also it could be eating too many foods that are high acid foods. And of course you can find that information easily by looking up alkaline foods, alkaline forming foods, and acid forming foods, because even though a food might be acid, like a lemon or an orange, it is actually alkaline forming, which is very good to make your system more alkaline. It's important for us to understand the difference between overly acid and overly alkaline system, because our body wants to stay in a balance of acid and alkaline, and if it is too acid, then that can cause all kinds of problems, especially with pain. So I'm going to show you how to release it by someone doing it for you, and I'm going to also show you how you can release it yourself, such as if you're in a car and all of a sudden you have hip pain and you've been riding for a while and you want to release that so that you're comfortable for the next couple hours. You might have to do it every couple hours on your trip. Okay, so the piriformis muscle, it's about in the middle of the buttock. And so if you manipulate and press, they usually can tell you when you're right on it. How's that? Is that right there?
Yep.
Okay, so it's right here. Okay, so here it is, right here. And so I'm going to make a fist. Actually, you want to warm the tissue up a little bit. So you want to go light at first and get it warmed up so that it's not too much of a shock on the muscle. And it helps them also. It's not so painful to release it. And then you want to make a fist and just press in and hold. Does it feel like I'm still in the right spot?
Yes.
Okay, so she feels it very strong. And so I will do different things to try to press that and release it. And a lot of times when you're pressing on this, they're going to feel the pain run down the sciatic nerve, and it comes down this side of the leg, and then it comes here and it splits and goes down both sides of the calf. And so you want to release all those areas, especially this one right here. And so after you press on this for a while, then you want to come over here and you want to get this all the way up here is where it runs. And do you have sciatica problems on both legs?
Yes.
Okay, so you can work both sides. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this side also. Warm up the tissue. And you want to take maybe 2 or 3 minutes to warm it up. And then press. Does it feel like I'm right on it?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And it's going to be painful, but depending on how much time you have, you can go a little lighter, take longer to do it, and it's less pain. But if you don't have a lot of time, then you can just go deep and they can bear the pain. It's not going to hurt them to go deep as far as doing damage. And sometimes I take my thumb and my hand right on my palm of my hand right on the thumb, and I'll push on it that way also. And so you take some deep breaths, and it helps it to release faster if the client is taking deep breaths. And then I'll come back down here, and I'm going to apply pressure on up the side of the leg towards the back. And usually you can feel knots along, because when the piriformis muscle's pressing on the sciatica nerve, it makes that nerve shoot electricity all the way down the leg. And so it has caused the muscles to contract and build up lactic acid all down along where the sciatic nerve is. So I'm just going to go up, and I've got my hand like this, and just putting it right down on the leg and sliding it up the leg, and using my body pushing it, so I'm not, just making too much effort with my arm. I've got my elbow right here on my hip, and using my body to push. Going on down the leg to both sides. I'm going to do the same thing, warm it up a little bit first. And when I have bare skin, I like to use oil, so it slides down. On bare skin, I like to use a little oil, lubrication, and makes things go smoother. So I take again my thumb and I put my palm on there, and I'll slide that up on the side, and you can tell whether you're right on it because they're going to be either making a little bit of noise or clenching, and you can adjust your pressure to how much they can take it. You want to do as much as possible because it really does relieve the pain, so that they can sleep at night, so that they don't have leg cramps. And again, I'm going to go up this side also. So both sides, and then up the side of the thigh. Both sides on the calf. And a lot of times, this happens to elderly people, and increasing their magnesium also seems to help with this. I like to encourage them to eat more foods that are high in magnesium instead of taking the supplement. And you can do a search and find out what foods are high in magnesium. And again, of course, I'm going to do both sides. And it is especially important to get in the inner calf. And to get that muscle, sometimes you have to just grab it and then squeeze. Of course, that was a little tough. That was a little hard that time, so I'm going to go a little lighter because I could tell that was really hurting her. And of course, remind them to take deep breaths. Keep deep breathing. And it's amazing how this is quite painful to receive this, but they get so much relief that they keep coming back because it's the one thing that helps tremendously. Slow, deep movements. Again, you can use your hand, the back of your hand like this, and just lean in, keeping your posture right so that you're using your body for the movement and not standing here and using your arm, using your whole body to do this movement. If you're doing a lot of massage, it's easier on your body. Okay, so usually spend about 15 minutes on the buttocks and on the thighs and the calves all together. Doing it every day is not really necessary, because when you do this work, it actually continues to have its effect for 2 or 3 days after you do the work. So even though it will feel better tonight, it'll even feel better in the next couple days. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to help yourself with this problem if you have no one around. All right, thank you, Darlena.
What a relief. Thank you.
Okay, now I want to show you how to help yourself if you have no one around to help you with the sciatic pain. If you're sitting in a car and you're driving and all of a sudden you've got that pain right there on your buttocks, if you can pull off the road and take time to do this one little thing, and that is take your fist and place it right here and then sit on your fist. And you know, you can tell where that place is because there's that one place where you dig in and it's just so painful. That's the piriformis muscle. So when you find that, you lean into the car seat and put all your weight on it and push up against something to even push harder, and take some deep breaths until you feel like that has released. And that will give you relief for a couple hours, maybe longer. Maybe that's all you needed. Another thing, if you're at home and you need help with this, I find it very effective to take something round, and sometimes you don't have anything round. You may not have children around or dogs and you don't have a ball or anything. I found this round onion works very well. You want to lay down on the floor and place this in the area where you can lay right on it, and then you want to put your hip right on that ball and let it sink, let your body weight, let it sink into the piriformis muscle. And you can roll around. And if you roll around, you find, ooh, that's a little bit more painful. Well, that's the area that you need to lay it on. You can adjust the pain by not putting all your weight on it. So you can relax, take deep breaths, and slowly let your weight completely go on to this round object. I find that a rubber ball works best, and maybe even one of those dryer balls that are made out of wool that are firm. This onion can be a little bit hard, but at the time, that's all I could find. So use your imagination and practice. Practice makes perfect, and hopefully you'll be relieved of this sciatic pain. Another thing that you can do is to fill up a tub with hot water, probably about 110. You can go anywhere between 105 and 112 degrees. Sit there and let your legs warm up so that your blood comes down to your legs. And this gives you some great relief also. And take time to exercise, because this will also help with relieving the sciatica pain.